Hey, what is going on, everybody? In today's video, I will be doing an updated guide for character shard purchases in the stores. Just so this is clear early on, this will be intended for an early and mid-game audience who might need some direction in terms of what to be buying out of these stores, as it can be really overwhelming given how many characters are available for purchase, but not all of them all that great in the game. So I want to help by eliminating a lot of these and really showcase the ones that I think you should be buying and why that is. This is an update to one that I did early at the beginning of 2021, so this is going to be a mid-2021 update depending on when you're watching this video. And you know, things can really change pretty quickly depending on who becomes available where, and that's really important. And in some cases, old characters who get massive dramatic reworks, and you know, we'll be talking about that as well when we get there. So without further ado, everyone, let's get this show on the road. And so we're going to start off in the supply store. Why am I starting off in the supply store? There is no real character in there, but hey, as of recording this video, Maria Hill is available for 10 for 800 power cores. Do not do this. And if you're watching anywhere down the line and this happens again, don't do this. It's a severe waste of power cores. Please do not do this. This was specific to Moondragon and Maria Hill, and if there's any more down the line after the making of this video, please do not purchase these. The only time that I would consider you buying 5 shards for 450 cores are for really unobtainable characters that are very difficult. Perhaps premium orb exclusive characters. I guess as of making this video, that would be like Anti-Venom or Kestrel. I think they're both there, I believe. But if you're only really 5 shards away, then do that for the unlock or for a rank up. Other than that, please don't touch these 5 shards for 450 or 360 power cores for minions. Don't do that for minions, definitely not. Don't do this. So we're just covering that very quickly. For the Blitz store, and this is going to be based on my experiences with my baby account, who is level 63 as of recording this video. When I first started the game, you know, there's a lot of characters in here. There's a lot. I mean, I don't know how many. There's a lot. 2, 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, 22 characters. And Domino, who is a Blitz Orb exclusive. When I first started the game, the biggest issue I had was getting into the Villains campaign, because you have Elektra and you have Crossbones, who are permanent campaign event characters that you can unlock very early on. And I believe you get Spider-Man, Luke Cage, and Shield Medic to start for the Heroes campaign, but you need a third villain character to get started on that Villains campaign. And so one of the ones that I did find that was very helpful for me was actually Electro, because she is actually a very decent character. Her kit is actually pretty good. She does apply offense down on her ultimate, and I found her very helpful to get through the early parts of the Villains campaign. So she isn't someone that I would recommend gearing up too high. You know, as of recording this, I only have her at like 10k, but she did get me through those important sections of the early Villains campaign so I could unlock more characters through shard farming in the Villains campaign. Now, we're not talking about shard farming. That's going to be in a different video down the line, because that's a little bit different in terms of the characters that you're going to want to be considering here. But in terms of Villains in the Blitz store, which is the very first store that unlocks as you go through the game, and it goes sequentially, sort of from left to right. So Blitz, Raid, Arena, War, those are the stores that you're going to be unlocking in that order as you level up. But in terms of other villain characters to consider, there's not a lot. There's some minions, some Merc Ryguard. Again, Crossbones is still in here. But really, there's not Rhino. But again, I would still rather pick up Electro than Rhino for the exact same price. Toad and Strife, not really characters that you need to be considering in the early game, and even later on, you probably don't need to consider. So really, your only option for villains is Electro. But after you get Electro unlocked, who's really going to help you get through that early Villains campaign, the one that you really need to be focusing on, and this is an absolute no-brainer, is Gamora. She is the absolute strongest character in the game. I kid you not, the most player-friendly character, actually, in the game right now. She is a top 1 or top 2 character. Her stats are through the roof. She has an empowered form. She went from 0 to hero, and I kid you not, she was probably a trash tier character you know, about 2 months ago, prior to the Infinity Watch patch of 5.4 5.4, I believe that was, and now she is just an absolute monster. She carries me through the majority of the game, and almost everywhere that I can use her, she just rips people's faces off. So even if you somehow manage to miss Phyla-Vell and Moondragon, who was in patch 5.4, still, I very strongly recommend you getting shards for Gamora and unlocking her as soon as possible. I would say right after unlocking Electro, go balls to the wall on Gamora, get those shards in the Blitz store as often as you can. Aside from this, though, what I'm also picking up on the side is Ant-Man. Now, as a character, he's not really that great, but you do need to start collecting shards for him because you need to get a 5-star Ant-Man in order for Pimtech to unlock Jubilee. Now, Jubilee is a legendary character. She requires 5 Pimtech characters, and that includes Ant-Man in there as well. So Ant-Man, Wasp, Ghost, Yellow Jacket, and Stature. So Stature is available in the campaign, but Ant-Man, this is a very easy pickup. Don't prioritize it over Gamora necessarily. Kind of just do it on the side, you know. Maybe for every 3 or 4 purchases of Gamora, pick up Ant-Man, you know, as you go along through the game and you have extra Blitz credits to spend on. But definitely work on Gamora to get to about the 5 or 6 star level. That's going to be a really good place to go. I'm going to 7, but like I said, every 3 or 4 purchases of Gamora, I do pick up an Ant-Man or 2 here and there. Other than that, in the Blitz store, there's a lot of useless characters that I would not really consider buying outside of those 2. There's nothing really of mention. Agent Coulson was added more recently, same with Ironheart, but again, don't really think you need them, and I haven't been buying them at all. So don't consider any of the other characters. Electro, Gamora, Ant-Man, and that's about it. So let's moving on to the Raid store, and there is only 4 slots in the Raid store. Unlike the Blitz store where they're all available, the easiest place to figure out all of the characters that are available in the Raid store is by looking at the Raid Orb. Now, this is something that I do a lot of more recently, but there's a few characters that I do recommend you unlocking very early on through the actual store where possible. Now, I forget what level that these stores unlock at. I know I have my baby account, but I can't remember specifically each of the levels, so please forgive me on that one. But I know that they unlock from left to right. So there are a lot of characters available in the Raid Orb, or aka the Raid store. I think there's a total of 19 characters here. But one character that stands out among the rest is Baron Zemo. Now, he is also a villain's character, so if you still need a villain's character and you don't want to pick up Electro, Baron Zemo is your man. You really need to get Baron Zemo. He absolutely obliterates all of the villains campaign and even Nexus campaign that you can use him in. He just trashes minions, and he just really takes them to task. He's still a really top tier amazing character. He's actually one of 10 characters on my baby account that I'm building up quite far because I still think he's really awesome. You can use him in many different places in the campaign, and he just is all that and a bag of potato chips, unless another character comes out down the line that just you know, makes him obsolete. I really don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So Baron Zemo, he has a 100 shard unlock, so do try your best to pick him up first. Now, other characters that you might want to consider potentially is characters like Yo-Yo and Kitty Pryde, who is a very new recent addition to that, and Killmonger. Although none of these characters that I just mentioned, other than Baron Zemo, are an immediate necessity. So what I would actually recommend, if you're not in a rush, if you don't feel you're in a rush, because I don't think you are, then, you know, really just pull some Raid Orbs. You know, I do this from time to time. I pull some Raid Orbs because you're actually getting more shards. You're getting a total of 9 shards for 900 raid credits, whereas when you actually just buy them, you're spending, what is it? Let's go back. It's 1,400 for 5. So you're actually getting a lot more shards and a more balanced amount of shards for pulling the raid orb. So I do like doing this with mine, you know, because I'm not in a huge hurry to get star levels on any of these characters, so I tend to do this from time to time. Now, in terms of the actual uses for the characters in the raid store itself, Killmonger is a very important one because he is usable in 3 flash events: the Chaos Theory flash event, which is for promotion credits, the Payday Mercenary flash event, and the Skilletary Back to Boot Camp flash event. So 3 out of 5 flash events. So he's a very important character for that. But aside from that, he's not super important, so how fast you need to get the shards for him, probably not super fast, which is why, you know, it's okay to pull raid orbs, and if you really do want to get that extra star level, then, you know, feel free to purchase him out of the store directly anyways. Kitty Pryde, very important for that Astonishing X-Men team, but it's not a early game team. It's more of a late mid game team because you do need Jubilee, who I was talking about earlier with Pimtech, in order to really assemble that team. So yeah, I don't think it's a high top priority, which is why I think pulling raid orbs for her is perfectly fine as well, and you'll eventually get her unlocked that way. Now the other characters of note is going to be Yo-Yo and Thor. Thor is usable in the Cosmic and Mystic campaigns. He is usable to unlock Black Bolt, which I don't actually recommend doing. That's a completely separate discussion, though, because I have another video on that if you want to check that out about legendary characters. Yo-Yo, again, actually a pretty good standalone character if you're not using other protectors. She's actually pretty fun to use. So, and when I mean fun, like, she is usable. So she's probably the second best in there outside of Baron Zemo, I would say, and she is somewhat of a newer addition as well. So feel free to at least unlock her. Ronin is eventually going to be used at the 6-star level to do the Phoenix Legendary event, but not an immediate, fast-track priority. So that's, again, there's a lot of characters in here with potential uses, but nothing that, in my opinion, is a high top priority. So for that reason, I think you can just pull the raid orbs over time, with your alliance that you're accumulating raid credits for, and I think that'll work out just fine. That's where I currently use most of my raid credits for. I don't think you need to really spend it on gear or anything like that. I think there's a lot more easier ways to get blue gear raid orbs, purple gear raid orbs, and so on, where I haven't really had to directly buy them. So that's entirely up to you, just my opinions on the raid store. Now for the arena store. As of this video, the current Arena Orb contains a Shatterstar at a higher rate, and this is the only way to get Shatterstar of the X Factor team, who is important for that Adam Warlock event. Unfortunately, I do not believe the Arena Orb is worth buying. It is really bad value for your arena credits, and I have made a video in the past when Scream was first in it, and it was not good. The chances of getting the featured character in the Arena Orb is incredibly slim and not worth your credits. Now, there's currently 2 characters who are available at the 975, which is the premium rate for arena shard characters, both Scream and Red Guardian, neither of which I believe are worth that 975 cost. Scream really is only good if you're going to have Symbiote Spider-Man, who I actually made a video of a little bit ago, and it was, he is very hard to unlock now, so if you don't have him, there's not much point in getting Scream. Now, in terms of other characters that I did for my baby account, I did pick up Swarm, I'll admit. I actually took him to 5-star. Now, the reason why I did that was because I thought it was easy if I wanted to unlock Shuri and Invisible Woman, who requires Spider-Verse and Sinister Six characters, which he qualifies for. But aside from this, there isn't a lot of characters worth taking. Now, Corvus Glaive is in that Black Order team, but, is not something an early game player is going to be considering. Blob, also, for the same reason, not an early game. Nobody needs to consider that. There is a handful of characters that you could consider here. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Deadpool. He's at 350. He is at a lower cost. Now, he is required for X-Force, and X-Force is required for the Doc Ock Legendary event. So for that reason, I wouldn't put him at a top priority, but I would consider picking up some shards for him. He is also at 350, so it's a bit of a lower cost, so the entry is not as tough, I was going to say. And the next character I want to talk about is Mordo. Again, like I talked about Ronin, Mordo is a character. He is a cosmic Mystic character, and a villain, so he does qualify for multiple campaigns here. So if you did need an extra villain character, you could decide to pick up Mordo at 350. He's also usable for the Phoenix Legendary event alongside Ronin, so this gives him multi-purpose use, and he is also available at 350, which makes him cheaper. Now, the other character that I want to talk about is M'Baku, because he is usable in the Chaos Theory Flash event, which is one of the most important Flash events that come around monthly to get promotion credits, which allows you to buy Red Star upgrades for your character. Now, himself as a character, he's absolute trash, but unfortunately this is a means to an end, and that you have to pick up stars through him through the arena store in order to get him up higher on star levels for that event. Now, what I was hoping is that maybe M'Baku would drop from 500 credits to 350, but I don't know. We don't have any precedence for when characters drop from 500 to 350. Nothing has changed since the rework of the arena store, so I don't know how long this will be necessarily until that happens. If by the time you're watching this video, M'Baku has dropped to 350 credits, then great, do that, because you are going to need higher star levels on him for that Chaos Theory Flash event that's super important. Other than that, none of these characters, in my opinion, are all that worth picking up. People are going to get angry at me for not saying Heimdall and Crystal, but Heimdall is used in unlocking Black Bolt, who I do not not feel at this point is worth it, especially for newer and mid-game players. You're not going to get a lot of use out of him, and you need Black Bolt to unlock Ebony Maw, which you would also need Crystal for, because she is also an Inhuman. You need Inhumans and Black Bolt to unlock Ebony Maw, and so for that reason, because I'm ignoring Black Bolt, I'm also ignoring Ebony Maw, which means I'm ignoring Crystal and Heimdall. So you might say, hey, Boilon, well, you're sitting on 15,000 arena credits. Yes, I am. This is my baby account, by the way. I'm level 63. I'm waiting to see what happens in the store to see if other characters drop down, prices change. I'm kind of just hoarding my arena credits at this time. So there isn't a lot of important characters that you need to pick out of this. Swarm is one that you could pick out of it, but it's not super necessary either. Otherwise, M'Baku, Deadpool, and Mordo in no particular order that you can choose to at least collect shards for. I would say the arena store is in a bit of an awkward state right now, because it's just a bit weird with the changeovers and the premium characters. Well, not worth spending $9.75 on. So that's all I'm going to say there. Now, for the War Store. Unfortunately, the War Store does not have a War Orb, so it's kind of tough to show you all the characters that are available in here. Now, two of the most important characters, which you can't really see on the screen, although you may have seen on the thumbnail, Ghost for the Pimtech team, which I mentioned earlier to unlock Jubilee. X-23 is also in here for unlocking Doc Ock as part of X-Force, which I mentioned about Deadpool earlier on. And Longshot, who's part of X Factor, a more recent addition, who is useful in unlocking Adam Warlock. Those three characters, Ghost, Longshot, and X-23 are the three most important characters to purchase out of the War Store. If I had to say in any particular order, I would say Ghost, then Longshot, then X-23 in terms of importance. Ghost is also really good for Dark Dimension, depending on where you're at in the game and what characters you have unlocked. She's very helpful in Dark Dimension 2, 3, and 4 going forward. And obviously, she is also the one that kind of carries that Jubilee event. You can actually unlock Jubilee solely just by gearing up Ghost and not gearing any of the other Pimtech characters. You just need to get the shards for them to do that. So, you know, maybe I'll try and refresh this just to share. Will I get any of them? There we go. There's Longshot. So if you see Longshot, pick him up. If you see Ghost, pick her up. And X-23 would be my third afterwards, but I would focus primarily on Ghost and Longshot, as those are kind of better, I think, than X-23. But those are the only three characters, in my opinion. People are going to say, once again, Sif. So Sif is an Asgardian character that is in the store that is used to unlock Black Bolt. I don't think that you should go for this. I don't think you should go for Black Bolt anymore. Take it or leave it, my suggestions there. And Carnage, again, if you watch my Symbiotes video, that this is not important anymore, especially if you can't even have Symbiote Spider-Man. And none of the other characters in the War Store, in my opinion, are worth talking about, so that is where I'm going to end it there. And you shouldn't really be spending your war credits on gear, because I think you should be getting more than enough of that in the purple and orange gear orbs that you'll be getting in your Alliance raids and things as you kind of progress through the game. So I don't think that's super important. Focus your war credits, which are a finite resource anyways, focus them on those characters. As of this video, those are the best uses of your war credits, and that's what I'm going to say about shards for that. Now, we don't have anything else. We have the Red Star promotion credits, but again, that's going to be dependent on how many silver and gold promotion credits you have. So work on that Chaos Theory Flash event. Get those shards from M'Baku. He's a shitty character, but you're going to need it for that Flash event. So yeah, I just wanted to double down on M'Baku a little bit there, because it does come around monthly, and that's really important. Hopefully, one day he will get the 350 changeover, though, in the arena store. But until then, that's all. So we've gone over the supplies. Don't buy these. Don't buy these for 800 power cores, and then Blitz, Raid, Arena, and War in that order. I hope it helps, guys. Let me know in the comments down below if you think I missed anyone. Like I said, I did preempt some criticism there about Black Bolt and Ebony Maw, because a lot of people have criticized me on that in the past, but that is my opinions on what characters are useful and who aren't. So let me know if you think I should have mentioned someone. Otherwise, that's the end of this video, guys. And of course, stay safe and stay healthy. That's my new thing that I'm saying now. Till next time, guys. I screwed up the order again. Yeah, I'm not used to saying something different. Okay, that's the end of the video. Take care until next time, guys, and Boilon signing out.